Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a really interesting little word, tiny actually. The modal verb may. It seems so simple, all right? But its power, the way it shifts meaning and tone, is kind of surprising.
It really is.
So, okay, let's unpack this. We've looked at the grammar, the functions. The goal is to give you a quick, solid grasp of what may is all about.
What's fascinating here, I think, is how understanding these, nuances of such a common word can genuinely sharpen your communication.
Yeah.
Precision, tone, it matters.
Yeah, totally. Whether it's an email or just, talking makes a difference.
Deliberate choices with words, that's the key.
Okay, so let's nail down the basics first. The structure, it's pretty consistent.
Super consistent.
It's always subject plus may plus the base form of the verb.
Give that be1 form, yeah.
Right, the infinitive without to. That base form, V1, is critical. It never changes.
Never changes. So she may come tomorrow, that's a possibility.
Yep. Or, may I help you? For that very formal offer. Classic example. And predictions, too. It may rain today. Simple structure, multiple jobs.
Exactly, that structures your foundation. Now, what about the negative? If may opens doors, how do we close them?
Good question. How do we say no with may?
You just slot in not. Subject plus may not plus base verb. Simple enough.
Seems straightforward.
But here's a subtle twist. He may not agree with you. What does that feel like?
It's possible he won't agree. Uncertainty, maybe.
Exactly. A negative possibility. But then you may not leave the room.
Okay. That's different. That's a clear no, a prohibition.
Precisely. Possibility versus prohibition. Same structure, different intent. It's a crucial distinction.
Definitely something to watch out for. Okay, so negatives covered. What about asking things? Questions.
Right, the interrogative form. You flip it. May plus subject plus base verb.
And this feels quite formal, doesn't it? More polite than just, can I?
Oh, absolutely. It adds that layer of deference. May I sit here? Feels different.
Yeah, it does. Or may we begin the meeting? Very proper. Sets a certain tone.
It really does. And beyond these core forms, permission, possibility, request, may has other roles too.
Like what else?
Well, we touched on formal permission and possibility, but think about wishes or blessings. It's a bit literary, maybe, but may you live long.
Yeah, you see that sometimes. Formal occasions, maybe.
Right. And it also signals uncertainty when speculating. He may have missed the train.
How's that different from, say, he must have missed the train?
Must have sounds much more certain, right? May have leaves more room for doubt. It's less definite, just a possibility you're considering.
Got it. So much packed into 3 little letters. It's actually kind of amazing. And you mentioned a couple of key rules, common errors people make.
Yes, absolutely vital points.
Okay.
First, we said it, but it bears repeating. May is always followed by V1, the base form. No ing, no past tense.
Right. Not may's going or may went. Always may go, may be, may see.
Always. And the second, this trips people up a lot. May doesn't change. Ever. Doesn't matter if the subject is I, you, he, she, they.
So, no. He mays go. That's just wrong.
Completely wrong. It's always he may go.
Yeah.
Singular. Plural. First person, third person. May stays may. Beautifully simple in a way.
Consistent, yeah. Despite all the different jobs it does.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, getting these nuances right, it isn't just about grammar rules.
No, it's more than that.
It's about being a clearer, more effective communicator, more impactful, knowing whether you're suggesting a possibility, politely asking, or firmly prohibiting. The control is powerful.
Yeah, it shapes how people understand you completely.
It really does.
So what does this all mean for you listening? We've sort of walked through the different faces of may, right? Permission, wishes, uncertainty. Now that you've had this deep dive, here's a little challenge maybe. Start listening for may. Actively notice it.
Yeah, in conversations, in writing.
How is it being used? What's the subtle intention behind it? How does it color the meaning?
You might be surprised what you start picking up on now that you're tuned into it.
Exactly. Just observe how this one small word works in the wild. It's quite revealing.